find a track, otherwise they're lying there just next to Yuri's house waiting for an opportune moment to hunt. You'd think they'd go hang out by some water when it's nice and warm. It's not very hot today, but it's not characteristic to see large cats moving. It's possibly due to the fact that there's a nice stiff breeze coming from the south. Nope. Oh. Well, there we go, Mike. I just looked up and there they were, right next to the road. Right next to us. Sorry, the car's moving. Hello, girls. So it looks like we found them. It's always nice to just keep your eyes peeled, look in the shade. Not a single track on the road. So they've obviously been walking in the open areas here. And it's easy enough for them to cross a road if they're walking together. And if they walk on a hard patch, impossible to see. So general direction is the same, but a lot of effort for them to hunt now. Just like that, Anthony. Just like that, lions. And sometimes they're right next to you, which is a blessing. A few buffalo tracks up and down here. They'd heard of impala. They had a couple of nyalas with them. They weren't 100% relaxed. Normally takes, in my experience, between 45 minutes and an hour for a herd to sort of start calming down once they've seen a large predator. And it's about that long ago. And it is amazing how sneaky these animals can be. Almost as if they didn't want us to find them. But here they are. Hello, girls. Now, I know it's difficult at this angle, but I'm wondering if anybody knows who they are. I don't know. I can't tell from what I'm seeing right now. The one at the back is ready for her nails to be done. She is ready to get her nails done. Can you see that, Johan? Right on top there, on the body. Yes, are you ready? Who's ready to get those nails done? And if you follow that arm back and underneath her elbow, look in the little groove there against her body. Those are enormous ticks that are on her body there. Now, lions will groom themselves a lot. They also groom each other. But to have that amount of ticks underneath this one's armpit, not ideal. Parasites lead to an animal losing condition. Obviously, ticks also, they carry diseases. And you generally find an animal who's lost condition generally picks up more parasites. It seems to be the way of nature. Plants as well seem to pick up more pests when they're not very well. Happens out here as well with impala. That one animal in the herd who's just lost a bit of condition seems to pick up all the tick load. But these two girls look like they're going to spend the afternoon right here. Is he spooning lions on this Wednesday afternoon? Indeed, it is perfect. 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 Well, I don't foresee these two girls getting up too much at all. They've walked, not sure where from, but they came from sort of the north and they ended up here in the middle of Djuma. This is pretty much where the Talamati pride killed those wildebeest last year. We had 3 wildebeest killed in the same sort of spot, visible from the dam cam. Right here. I wonder if any of those watching the dam cam managed to see who these females walking past. Because these females would have crossed the road not far from the dam cam. I can see the dam cam here. So we're getting some feedback that these are Talamati females. Ladies, can you confirm? Are you from the Talamati pride? Well, one thing I know is that when I first started at Djuma, the Nkuhuma pride was the dominant pride in the area, and you'd often find them right here. First 2 years I was here, you never saw the Talamatis at all on Djuma. We heard about them a lot. They were on the boundary once or twice with Bafusuk. And then the Nkuhumas moved south and sort of moved into a void that opened up further south, and it sort of sucked lions further south, and the Talamatis took over Djuma almost entirely. I think for an entire week I had them every single day in this square around Quarantine, Voyatella Dam, Tambeta for an entire week. This was after, it was quite lovely because it was after the rain and we couldn't drive very far. They decided to just stay in one very specific area, an area that has water, an area that attracts plentiful game in the form of impala, wildebeest and zebra. But in saying that, where I am, just off to my left by about 50-60 yards, is where Purple Eye had her cubs of the Nkuhuma pride. Not far from that is where my Ribs was born, Tandi's youngest. That young fellow, hopefully we get to see him. And when we had that first moment of loveliness with Amber Eyes and her 4 little bundles of joy, that was right here where we are, on the left. So it's interesting how lions can shift their territories. It's not something that's often spoken about. You know, we talk about a lion territory, the pride territory being such, but it completely shifting, the nucleus of it shifting entirely. It's quite an interesting thing. As more prime real estate opens up, lions move into those places, and other lions fill that sort of gap. I remember seeing it in the Mara during the migration. The lions seem to lose territorial boundaries altogether due to the abundance of game. And territories are there to secure a food resource. So when that resource starts to diminish to a point where it needs to be defended, the territories once again fall back into place. However fluid they might have been, they can shift. But then they become quite solid once again. Cindy, well, I did tell Tess last night that I would be bringing the animal magic. We just come out here with good vibes, don't we, Johan? Just good vibes, Cindy, and then of course we're going to find a leopard. You know, it's inevitable. This is Djuma. You just have to look around and you'll spot a leopard. And Tristan himself has just arrived back. It was quite wonderful. We had a 10-15 minute catch up. Tristan arrived and everybody was there. It was quite nice. Even the directors got to see him while we're doing checks to say hello. And so he's going to be with the Wild Earth Expedition crew for the next 4 nights, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure they're going to be happy to find lions 100 yards from where they're currently having lunch. I know I would be quite happy having lions this close to my lunch table. Ferocious beasts they are, look at them. Very tactile, everybody, tactile, very touchy-feely. They love to communicate with touch. As you can see, even on this warm day, they are still very close to each other. An arm is on her shoulder. I was joking about her waiting for her nails to be done. I promise that doesn't happen out here. Lions look after their own nails at the detriment of some of the trees, which they will scratch. It's all part and parcel of the natural disturbance of the savannah.